The U.S. Supreme Court gives President Trump a big victory in his efforts to restrict mail-in ballots. And with midterm elections just weeks away now, New York's Attorney General calls it a big setback. Lisa Rozner is here now with more details. Lisa.
Well, KJ, the president has made claims that mail-in ballots breed voter fraud, but without evidence. Now there's concern about what this high court decision could mean for the pivotal midterm elections.
The Supreme Court is siding with the Trump administration in an executive order that would have his administration create a list of eligible voters, and the U.S. Postal Service implementing deliveries to only those names and addresses. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said on X, President Trump does not get to rewrite election law or suppress the right to vote with the stroke of a pen. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill called it a terrible decision from Trump's Supreme Court and said states run elections, not Donald Trump.
I think what people are really worried about is that this is a sign of the president taking a more active role in trying to control what happens in the upcoming midterm elections. Republicans are expected to lose control of the House and perhaps even lose control of the Senate, and what would be a really shocking turn of events for them.
The White House called the decision a major win for the security of American elections, adding these are common sense measures that protect the security of mail-in ballots and ensure only Americans are electing American leaders.
If this goes forward, it's going to be incredibly chaotic. The more objectionable thing, and that's not resolved yet, is whether or not the states will have to abide by a list that has not yet been issued by the Department of Homeland Security about who's a citizen for purposes of voting.
The attorneys general from New York and New Jersey are among the 23 Democratic-led states suing to stop the change.
Nothing changed today as it relates to how any voter can vote by mail, how elections officials have to work with the Postal Service. The clock is ticking on the ability, just practically speaking, to implement any new systems.
Using mail ballots is popular with voters of both parties. About 30% of all ballots were cast that way during the 2024 presidential election, according to federal data. A 2025 Brookings Institution study found only about 4 cases of fraud out of every 10 million mail ballots cast.
As one of the experts said, the Department of Homeland Security would have to create this list of citizens in a very short amount of time, so it's possible this really may not take effect in time for the midterms. New York Attorney General Letitia James said in her words that the fight is far from over. And Christine, she says they will pursue more legal action.
I'm sure we'll be hearing more about this in the coming weeks, Lisa. Thank you.